Welcome back to my series of 200 ultra hard PMP practice questions. In this video, we're going to be doing questions 131 to 140. I'm Andrew Ramdiel. I am the author of Amazon's best-selling PMP study guide, PMP Exam Prep Simplified, Amazon's #1 guide. And I'm also the creator of Udemy's over 360,000, 70,000 students now PMP exam prep course. Check all those out. Links are all in the description below. Let's get started on all these questions. All right, let's get into it. 131. By the way, I'm going to be reading it and answering it right away. Please pause the video. You read it, you answer it, and then see how you do. To counteract the issue of certain team members disproportionately influencing the outcome of project scope discussions, the project manager decided to implement a nominal group technique session. What is the significant benefit of utilizing this approach? Enables the sequential voting process to prioritize tasks, encourages equal contributions from all team members, prevents any single viewpoints from dominating, stimulates creative solutions through group synergy. This is a tough question because there's two answers. Now, if you know this group technique here, this nominal group technique's definition, there's two good answers that you could have gone with. And those two good answers was either B or C. Now, first of all, it's not just about sequential voting and groups synergy or creative solutions. This type of group technique or management technique here, what this is going to do is just ensure that everyone gets their viewpoint across and not just having a few people dominate it. But it's really not about equal. It's not equal contributions, but it's everybody's contribution. Some may have more than others, but it prevents one or two people from dominating your meeting, making C the best answer. Question 132. During an environmental impact review of an energy project, the project manager discovers that the environmental plan does not adequately address potential impacts on local wildlife. What should the PM do? Encourage the environmental specialist to assess the environmental impact on wildlife protection, suggest the team create a new environmental plan, continue with the project as planned and just based on regulatory feedback, pause the project to reassess all environmental impact aspects. What should you do first? Well, before you stop the project, and that's going to be before you stop the project to create a new plan, if you feel like there's something going on, meet with the right specialists, meet with the right people on the team to see, okay, I think I got a hunch. Maybe this is not going to work or this can potential impact. Don't stop something that's potential. Don't stop the project that's potential. Ensure that this potential is 100% correct or you have good information before making that decision. So the first thing you should do is make that assessment and never do nothing. Just don't continue to plan and wait for some kind of regulatory feedback. Never do nothing. Always assess the situation. 133. As new software development project kicks off, when is it most appropriate for the project manager to conduct the first project status meeting? Shortly after the project kickoff meeting to align on early objectives, after two development sprint is completed, once the first version of the project is ready, as soon as the team demonstrates progress and collaboration. All right, this was a tough question. It really had two good answers, and that was either A or D. Now, you don't want to wait for sprints to be done or a product, an entire first version. That's going to take a long time. It really comes down. Should you do one shortly after the kickoff meeting? Well, the kickoff meeting is about aligning to the project objectives. You don't need it right after that, but the moment the team starts to demonstrate progress, the moment the team starts to work on the product, now you have something to report on. Notice this is a status meeting. If you haven't really done anything on the project, you really cannot report status on it, right? So notice demonstrate progress on there. D, best answer. 134. Team members lack enthusiasm for participating in essential project planning sessions, with many arriving late or not contributing. This is not good. What strategy should the project manager employ? First, introduce a structured agenda with allocated times for each speaker to ensure focused discussion. All right. Develop a rotating leadership model for the planning session, allowing different members to lead. Okay. Encourage team members to contribute their insights and suggestions on improving the planning process. All right. Transition to a digital collaboration platform for planning sessions to provide flexibility and participation. This one had quite a few good answers, by the way. Tough question. Best answer here, guys, is going to be, did you get it? C is correct. Now, why is C correct? Notice in this one here, you're telling them what to do. You're telling them what to do. You're telling them what to do, or you're designing the whole thing. This one here, let's meet with the team and let's encourage them to do something, encourage them to share, encourage them to bring their suggestions, encourage them to be part of the team. Just don't come out and say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. That's not being a good servant leader. That's more of a dictator type leadership. 135. When the project manager of a software development project finds the specification provided by the client are ambiguous, what is the most appropriate initial action? Initiate development based on the existing specifications while awaiting further clarification. All right. Inform the project's key stakeholders about the potential for delays and scope clarification. Reach out to the client for clarification and confirmation. Adjust the timeline to accommodate potential changes in the project scope. Best answer here, guys, is going to be, did you get it? C is correct. Why is that? Well, you should never really execute a project, or you should not do a project if you don't understand the scope. If you don't know the scope of the project, you're setting yourself up for almost guaranteed failure. So you don't want that. So the best answer here, guys, is going to be reach out for confirmation, because this can lead to delays, obviously pushing the project over for scope delays, potential time and cost delays. So the other good answer is initiate development based on existing. If you do this, you're guaranteed to fail because you don't have the right scope clarification. You telling them about potential for delays, this was the second best answer. Before you do that, let's see if we can get it first. Then we may want to do that. You can't just adjust timeline, especially on these types of, remember, on an agile project, technically you have a fixed timeline. On a traditional project, you need approval for that. Before I get to this question, if you're enjoying this video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. 136. Upon noticing the primary technology provider for a digital transformation project will not meet the deadline for delivering essential software component, a risk previously noted due to the provider's historical performance issue, what should you do next? Negotiate with alternative technology vendors to ensure timely delivery and update the financial plan to reflect any changes. Report the situation and its potential impact to the project steering committee for immediate guidance. Consult the risk register with the team. Organize a strategy session with the project team to identify variable immediate solutions. All right. Best answer here. Now, there's two good answers. All right. Those two good answers was C and D. Now, you know this was a risk that was previously noted. So where would the risk be? It'll be in the risk register with the actual mitigation strategy. You don't want to just negotiate with the vendor. The moment the vendor did something bad, all right, you notice will not meet. So this is guaranteed to happen. So this is going to become an issue. Where do you find a solution to risk that has previously been documented? In the risk register, making that the best one. Report the situation, not to the steering committee. You don't take things to the steering committee, especially project problems that is under the control of the PM. The steering committee is more for like choosing or approving a change. They may choose the direction of a project, but project issues, that's your thing to fix. Organize a session with the team. You don't need to do this yet. The reason is because you've already done it with the team. It should have been in your risk register. 137. Discovering that one team member feels their efforts are undervalued compared to others, leading to a decline in the participation in the overall team spirit. What should the PM do to mend the situation and uplift the team? Schedule individual performance reviews to provide personal feedback and growth plans. All right. Conduct a project milestone celebration to acknowledge all team members' contribution equally. Highlight the project's collective achievements, emphasizing that success is attributed to the team as a whole, not individual. Implement a peer recognition program where team members can acknowledge each other's contribution. Best answer here. This one has a bunch of good answers, by the way. I thought this one was pretty difficult. The best answer here, guys, is going to be C. Now, I know it says individual. It's one person, right? One team member. But notice the real question is not just fixing that team member, right? The real question is uplift the team. That's the main point of this question. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? How can we uplift the team? Well, bring the team together, show them what they have done, tell them the success is due to all of them. You notice this guy feels undervalued compared to others. Let them know, right? Why does he feel like that? He feels like some have done more, or maybe it was a she and she felt like someone has done more or something like that. Let them know that success isn't just to one person, it's to the entire team. Individual performance review. This was the other good answer you could have gone with. This is feedback and growth plan, but it's the entire team, right? It noticed the overall team spirit, so address the team, not just one person. Conduct a milestone celebration. We're not sure if milestones here is what's going to help them. A milestone celebration to acknowledge all team members. Not every project, not everyone contributes equally. All right, some may contribute more, some may do more work than others. I'm not saying others are not important, but some people just do more work because that's required of them. Implement a peer recognition. This is given over. Let the team members acknowledge each other and leaving you out. Don't do that. Never let people solve problems by themselves. Work with them to do it. 138. Faced with a constrained budget and a tight deadline for launching a new product development project, the project manager discovers that the current financial resources will not suffice to cover all the projected activities. What should the project manager do next? Propose a phased project approach to stakeholders, focusing on critical development phase first. Document the financial shortfall in the project status report. Highlighting potential impacts on the timeline. Have the PMO identify priority areas and allocate budget to critical stages. Engage with the team to explore options for reallocating budget items to cover key tasks. All right, what are we going to be doing? Best answer here, guys, is D. Now, here's what. You notice you're faced with a constrained budget and a tight deadline. You got to get this product out the door. You realize you don't got enough money to cover each activity. What are we going to do here? Well, propose a phased approach to stakeholders. Okay. Focus on critical development. I like that. But you notice this is something you're doing on your own. You're not engaging the team here. You're proposing this option. You should engage your team. D is just a better answer than A. If the team says to do A, maybe it's a good option, but you shouldn't choose that by yourself. Document a stat highlighting the importance, the impact on it. You don't know those potential impact yet. Work with the team on this. So you want to do D. D can lead to A or B or both. Have the PMO. Don't bring the PMO. Work with the team first before going to your PMO. PMO can provide guidance and approvals and whatnot. But with something like this, let your team work with you. Always work with your team to solve issues as part of the mindset. 139. During a significant landscape redesign project, the project manager finds a cutting-edge irrigation system that could drastically reduce water usage and maintain costs. Introducing the system would necessitate a modest increase in both project budget and timeline. What should the project manager take? What should the project manager take first? Assess the project's existing budget and timeline. Initiate a pilot project with the current scope. Draft a detailed analysis comparing the long-term savings and environmental benefit of the new system against the initial increase in project costs and timeline for stakeholder review. Showcase the compatibility of the new irrigation system with the project's sustainability goals and report findings to stakeholders. Best answer here, guys. What are we going to do? Now, it's going to be, notice, what should you do? Basically, what should you do first? I like this one. There's two good answers, either A or C. All right. You just don't want to showcase it. You have to assess its impact on the project. You shouldn't push it out either unless you know how it's going to impact the project. Assess the project's existing budget and timeline. But it's not just those two, right? You want to do a detailed analysis, long-term savings and benefits of the new system against the initial increase in cost. So basically assess how this thing is going to affect the scope, how it's going to affect the increase in cost and time. This one here is A and C is basically saying almost the same thing, but C is giving you a more detailed explanation, making C a better answer than A. I know writing these hard questions sometimes is difficult. A is not a bad answer. I'm telling you guys, A is not a bad answer. Just C is a better answer. Because in this one, you're looking at long-term saving, you're looking at environmental benefits, you're looking at how it's going to increase costs, how it's going to increase time, and then you're giving it to the stakeholder for review. Versus just A is just the budget and the timeline. You're really not looking at the environmental benefit. It's just more than that, right? C's better. 140. During a critical phase of a healthcare software implementation project, the project manager realizes that the project team is struggling to maintain pace with rapid iterations and frequent changes in project requirements, indicating a need for better cohesion and flexibility. What 2 practices should the project manager implement to improve team performance and project fluidity? Now, A, foster a culture of continuous dialogue and collaboration amongst team members. Embrace a mindset of flexibility and willingness to adapt to project shifts. Implement regular retrospectives to identify and act on improvement opportunities. Organize a training session on agile methodologies to enhance team understanding. Schedule brief daily check-ins to keep the team aligned and informed. Love this question. To me, this was the hardest of the 10 questions in this set, by the way. They all sound great. All right. So we want, but let's focus on the thing. You want better cohesion and flexibility. So we need, the keyword is flexibility and bringing them together. What 2 option does that? That's the answer. That's the main point of the question. I'm not saying you should do C. You should do D. Probably want to do E also. But if you're looking for flexibility, then choose the answer that includes that. Let them build that mindset of flexibility. And in order to bring people together, it's all about collaboration. So if you read the question carefully, the answers to the question was literally in the question. These here, while they were good, they didn't get to the core of the question. Retrospectives are not bad, but retrospectives are more of how to improve the next sprint, not necessarily to embrace flexibility. The training session, that may embrace flexibility, but it might not do cohesion that well. Daily check-ins, we do that on a day-to-day basis. In Agile, that's really to look for more issues. Best answers was A and B. All right, I thought that one was difficult. My colleague that helps me write this, I thought that one was the hardest one. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Look out in the next few days, we'll have the next set out of up to 150. We're getting there, guys. We're getting up to that 200 now. We're way more than half, almost 3/4 of the way done. With that in mind, guys, if you are interested in my courses, check all the links below. I got my books below. And if you want more questions like this, I'm talking, I got nearly 1,000 more like this. Check out the TI exam simulator. Closest to the real exam, it'll come with more video explanations. And it will also include a bunch more questions like this. So we got about 400 video explanations. By the time you watch, it's probably going to be more. So we add more to that. And we got questions similar to this. We're going to have 600 or so, more like this. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.